In the heart of Thailand's ancient capital, Ayutthaya, a story is etched into the very fabric of time. It's not just a story, but a grand chronicle of faith, centered on a revered master whose spiritual power became a legend, Luang Pu Nuai Inthasilo. This is the saga of a timeless monk whose legacy continues to inspire awe to this very day.
You know, every great legend has a beginning, a point of origin. And for Luang Pu Nuai, that beginning was the sacred ground of Wat Ban Chaeng. Now this wasn't just any temple. Think of it as a cradle of faith, a place that has witnessed centuries of devotion and whispered tales of miracles. So, let's begin the first chapter of this tale. To truly understand the greatness of Luang Pu Nuai, we have to go back to the roots of his spiritual home, to the hallowed history of Wat Ban Chaeng itself, the place that shaped him.
Wat Ban Chaeng was founded all the way back in 1882. That's over 140 years ago. For generations, it's been the spiritual heart of the community. It's a land that has absorbed countless prayers, witnessed history unfold, and was destined to become the stage for one of Thailand's most revered holy men.
And this place had its own legends long before our master even arrived. There's this incredible story about Luang Pho Phat, the temple's ancient sacred Buddha statue. The tale goes that any chicken that dared to fly up and perch on the statue's head would just drop dead, its neck broken. It was a sign, a testament to the raw sanctity of this land, a clear message that this was no ordinary place. And it was on this very ground, in the year 1902, that a boy named Nuai Mee Kwamdee was born. A boy who from his first breath seemed destined to walk a path that would lead him to become one of the great spiritual masters of his time.
His destiny called to him early. At just 12 years old, he was ordained as a novice monk, and from that moment, the epic journey began. He became a seeker, a pilgrim traveling anywhere and everywhere he could find a teacher, relentlessly searching for true, profound knowledge and ultimate truth.
Now, here's where his story takes a fascinating turn. One of his most influential teachers was a man known as Ajahn John, the bandit with the red bag. And yes, you heard that right, a bandit. But he wasn't a criminal in the way we think. He was a master of powerful arts with a strong moral code. Studying under someone so unconventional showed, even at a young age, that Luang Pu Nuai was looking for the essence of knowledge, not just its respectable outer shell. And it was Ajahn John who led him to the most pivotal lesson of his life. He brought him to the legendary Luang Pu Suk of Wat Pat Khlong Makham, one of the greatest masters of all time. He only studied there for 1 year, but it was an incredibly intense period. He absorbed so much that he became known as the last true disciple, the final inheritor of the deep, mystical knowledge of this great river master.
Having mastered these incredible arts, he returned to his home temple, Wat Ban Chaeng. But he wasn't there to rest. He was there to begin the greatest test of his life, a period of intense spiritual practice in a place that most living people fear, the cemetery.
20 years. I want you to just let that number sink in. Not 20 days, not 20 months, 20 full years Luang Pu Nuai spent living in the temple cemetery. He practiced the most rigorous forms of meditation, completely cut off from the outside world, forging his mind into something unbreakable, something almost beyond human.
And it was during these 2 decades of unimaginable dedication that he cultivated what we call barami. This is a kind of profound spiritual power, a charisma forged from sacrifice, perseverance, and boundless compassion. It was this very power that he would soon use to help countless people. And once his barami was fully developed, that power began to manifest in the physical world. It took form through the legendary sacred amulets he created, objects made to protect his followers and bring them prosperity and good fortune.
Among all of his creations, 2 stand out as the most famous of all. First, the Jing Jok, or gecko amulet, the ultimate symbol of charm, attraction, and wealth. And second, the takrut, a scrolled amulet renowned for its unparalleled power of invulnerability.
The Jing Jok actually earned some pretty cool nicknames from his disciples, like the Girl-Snatching Gecko and the Wealth-Snatching Gecko. Why? Because its power for creating immense personal charm, for boosting sales, and for successful negotiations was just off the charts. It quickly became one of the most sought-after amulets in the entire country. But then there's the Takrit, and the legend around it begins with one of the boldest declarations you'll ever hear from a master, passed down through his lineage. If you can manage to shoot my Takrit, you don't have to take it.
It's a statement of absolute confidence, and it's the prelude to a miracle that would shake the land.
And that legend was put to the test, a real, documented test. They tried to shoot his Takrit Maha route. The first shot, the gun fires with a deafening blast, but the bullet leaves no mark, nothing. So for the second shot, the gunman puts the barrel right up against the amulet, point-blank range. But what happened next was beyond imagination. The bullet, it literally melted, flowing out of the gun's barrel like water. It was the ultimate proof of the power they said was tough to the bone.
Luang Pu Nuai passed away in 1988 at the age of 86. But the end of his physical life was nowhere near the end of his story. In fact, you could say his passing only made the faith people had in him burn even brighter, shining across the years.
And the proof of this enduring faith is something you can still see today. Every year, a wave of thousands of disciples from every corner of the country travel to his temple for the Wat Khru ceremony to pay respect. It's a living river of faith that has never run dry, passed down from one generation to the next.
But here's the most important part. Behind all the miracles, behind the immense power, the core of who Luang Pu Nuai was his profound humility. He never accepted any royal titles or high positions. He never boasted about his abilities. He was like pure gold. He didn't need any decorations to prove his worth.
And so in the end, the legend of Luang Pu Nuai leaves us with a question to think about. What is the true measure of a great legacy? Maybe it isn't just about the astonishing miracles. Maybe it's about the virtues of incredible perseverance and deep humility, because that is the true essence that continues to inspire faith today and forever.